From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. For over 2 centuries, these words have defined the United States Marine Corps. They celebrate a glorious victory in 1805, the first time the American flag was raised over a fortress in the Old World. Today, the U.S. Navy honors this legacy with a multi-billion-dollar amphibious assault ship, the USS Tripoli. But if you look past the bronze plaques and the anthems, you find a story not of military conquest, but of a family feud, a mercenary army, and a political betrayal. The year was 1801. Tripoli was ruled by the Karamanli dynasty under the loose suzerainty of the Ottomans. The ruler, Yusuf Karamanli, wasn't the rightful heir. He had seized the throne from his older brother Hamet, sending him into exile in Egypt. Yusuf was bold. He demanded tribute, protection money, from the young United States to stop his corsairs from seizing American merchant ships. President Thomas Jefferson refused. Yusuf chopped down the flagpole at the American consulate. War was declared. Enter William Eaton, the American consul to Tunis. He had a pro-plan. Don't just fight Yusuf at sea, overthrow him from within. In 1805, Eaton tracked down the exiled brother Hamet in Egypt. Using $40,000 and a promise of U.S. support, he convinced Hamet to reclaim his throne. But the Grand American Army was anything but. They marched 500 miles across the desert. It wasn't a heroic parade, it was a near mutiny. Hamet's mercenaries almost quit several times. They reached the city of Derna in April 1805. With the help of 3 U.S. Navy ships providing offshore bombardment, the ragtag army took the city. This is the victory at the shores of Tripoli. The U.S. flag was raised. The Marines had their legend. But while Hamet was preparing to march on Tripoli to take back his crown, the real pro-move was happening in the shadows. While Hamet and Eaton were shedding blood in Derna, U.S. diplomat Tobias Lear was in Tripoli harbor. He realized Yusuf was scared. Instead of supporting their ally Hamet, the U.S. made a deal with the enemy, Yusuf. The terms: the U.S. paid Yusuf $60,000 for the release of 300 American prisoners from the USS Philadelphia. The U.S. agreed to withdraw all support for Hamet. Hamet was abandoned. His family remained hostages of his brother. The remain of the 500 mercenaries were left to scatter. Hamet was evacuated by the U.S. Navy and eventually sent back to Egypt, where he died in obscurity, allegedly poisoned by the very brother the U.S. just paid off. So why name a ship after this? Why put it in a hymn? Because nations need myths more than they need the truth. For the U.S., Tripoli represents the birth of their ability to project power globally. It sounds better than the time we funded a coup, got a discount on hostages, and backstabbed our only local ally. The USS Tripoli isn't named after a grand conquest. It's named after a 500-mile desert trek led by 8 Americans and a forgotten Libyan prince, who learned the hard way that in international politics, allies are often just temporary tools.